What is up guys, Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny 2. Now in today's video we're taking a look at the Vigilance Wing and why this is potentially a hidden meta inside Destiny 2. So if you want to find out more, then be sure to stick around and check out the video. If you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a rating down below, that super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, be sure to hit subscribe as well. But without further delay guys, let's jump into the video. Now before we get started, I want to first invite you all to our community Discord. There's over 1,300 Guardians in the Jarv community hub right now. We have a LFG in there as well, and we've been doing some raids and dungeons and getting things done for the moment of triumph. So if you want to get some things finished and are struggling to get fire teams together, then be sure to jump in. It's available to everyone and you can find the link in the video description below. And lastly, we are soon to be doing some streams over on Twitch. Haven't quite worked out exactly the schedule on how that's going to work, but if you don't follow me on Twitch and you want to get involved with some live streams when they take place, then be sure to drop me a follow. Again, you can find the link to my Twitch channel in the video description below. So be sure to keep those peepers peeled for an announcement soon. So with all the channel announcements out of the way, let's jump into the Vigilance Wing. This is an exotic kinetic pulse rifle. It comes with an intrinsic trait called Harsh Truth. So this weapon fires a 5-round burst, and when nearby allies are killed, you gain health regeneration and increased movement speed. It also has a legendary trait called Last Stand, where you have improved weapon performance and greatly increased recovery when the wielder is the last living member of a fire team. And you'll notice that when you play Trials of Osiris or any of the elimination game modes. Now, based on the weapon's perks, Vigilance Wing is very much set up to be a machine, especially when it comes to trials and elimination, because Last Stand is a very strong perk. However, it does exceptionally well in 6v6, so much so it's actually really a lot of fun and has been quite surprising even to me over the last few days. Now, if you have the catalyst for the Vigilance Wing, you'll need to complete this inside the Crucible. You will need to get 250 kills with your Vigilance Wing, and this will unlock the ability to fire this weapon in full auto, and that will provide optimal rate of fire whenever you're using this weapon. Now, as you may be aware, high impact pulse rifles got a nice buff at the beginning of Season of Arrival, so much so pulses like Redrick's Broadsword and even the new Cold Denial really come to the forefront when it came to high impact pulses. Now, whilst the Vigilance Wing isn't specifically a high impact pulse, it does feel like it's had a little bit of a tweak this season and is very good in the current meta inside the Crucible. Now, as we said at the beginning of the video, the Vigilance Wing has a unique trait and ability to fire a 5-round burst, and as a result, its optimal time to kill is 0.77 of a second, which is one of the fastest across all the pulse rifles currently available. So much so that it only requires 2 bursts or 9 critical shots in order to defeat a Guardian. Now, if for any reason you're not able to hit the head and you can only land body shots, then it will take you 1.27 seconds to defeat that Guardian, which is 2.6 bursts or 13 body shots in total to defeat them. That is still one of the fastest actually across all the pulse rifles currently in the game. So when you consider the optimal time to kill and the longest possible time to kill as a result of body shots, there is a lot of forgiveness in the way the Vigilance Wing plays, but also its ability to defeat Guardians. Now, when you think about rapid fire weapons, things like auto rifles and pulses, especially inside the Crucible, the key stat that you turn to is really the range and the damage drop off that can provide inside PvP. Now, we've covered a lot of those weapons here on the channel, things like the Gnawing Hunger, the Galliard, which is unfortunately going to be sunset, but also more recently the Bad Juju. And whilst the Bad Juju is a very solid weapon, the key stat that it was lacking compared to other weapons was really the range, and this is where the Vigilance Wing really stands out. And the range stat on the Vigilance Wing is 64, which is one of the highest across all the archetypes, especially when you compare them to the high impact frames. The only ones that have higher ranges than that are the aggressive frames, things like the Go Figure and the Blast Furnace, which are all unfortunately being sunset at the end of the season. Now, as I said, it's really the range stat that really stands out, and this is because the Gnawing Hunger, for example, has a range stat which is 11 less than the Vigilance Wing, and as a result you can engage with auto rifles at a greater distance and hopefully win those battles before you get into their optimal range and get mowed down. So if you're going to come toe to toe with an auto rifle, make sure it's at a greater range and you have a greater chance of coming out on top. With that being said though, how does the Vigilance Wing compare to other pulses, things like the Redrick's Broadsword, the Cold Denial, and even the Bad Juju, which we compared on the channel recently? Now, if we take a look at this table here and start with the impacts, which you can see the Vigilance Wing, whilst it fires a 5-round burst, actually delivers the same amount of damage as a high impact pulse, things like the Redrick's Broadsword and the Cold Denial, and dealing more damage than the Bad Juju. Now, as you can see here, the range is also in the favour of the Vigilance Wing, with a massive 22 up on the bad juju when it comes to range. Now what you will notice is there's a lot of red in this table, and that's because the Vigilance Wing is coming out on top in pretty much every area, with only the exception of stability, handling and reload with the bad juju. But those are all stats you'd expect to see with a harder hitting, higher rate of fire weapon. Now the main reason I jumped back on the Vigilance Wing was to complete the catalyst. I'm working through the ones that I have left before the end of the season, and I was ultimately surprised I was going from mid 20 kills per game to upwards of 30 to mid 30s per game, not just by using the Vigilance Wing, by adapting to the playstyle that it offers, but also the consistency that it has when it comes to defeating your opponents. Now the Vigilance Wing pairs very well with pretty much any shotgun. Now my personal favourite, and one I got a lot of questions about, especially in the bad juju video, is what is this shotgun that you're using, Jarv, and why is it so good? Well, this shotgun that pairs perfectly, I feel, with the Vigilance Wing is the 7th Seraph CQC shotgun. Now this shotgun is a lightweight frame, so you can move faster with just by having the weapon equipped, but the role that I have on mine is basically quick draw and Vorpal, and when you pair that with a ranged masterwork, it means that when a super is used by the enemy team, you can be aggressive towards that to take them out. And this is why I firmly believe it pairs almost perfectly with the Vigilance Wing. The Vigilance Wing allows you to be passive aggressive, picking your targets from distance, but when the moment is right and you're ready to strike your opponent, you can pull out your shotgun and pounce on your targets when they least expect it. Now I firmly believe that Vigilance Wing has been slept on for too long, and for whatever changes, if any, that Bungie have made this season that have impacted this weapon, it most definitely appears to be a secret meta in the Crucible. Now I've firmly enjoyed pulling and dusting off a few key exotics out of my vault ahead of next season. If there's any shoutouts or any secret metas or hidden gems that you firmly believe deserve a moment in the limelight, then be sure to sound off in the comment section below and let me know, and I'll dust them off and give them a try. But be sure to give Vigilance Wing a try, and as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now as I said at the beginning of the video, if you're not already in the community Discord, be sure to jump in and join us and finish your moment of triumph before the end of the current season. And if you've already finished your moment of triumph, then jump in anyway and we'll jump into the Crucible and have some fun. Now if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a rating down below. That super helps me out here on the channel. And if you are new around here, I want to keep up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 content, then be sure to hit subscribe and turn on those bell notifications as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, but I will catch you all again very soon.